can you yourself start the?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, we're online. For those of you who are just joining,
we already started, Olaf. So
yes.
yeah. So Siraj just said that she would be in favor to do a backlog for our Hangout. That we have got some topics we can draw from, and that we do maybe some other time the supplication topic. And now next, who wants to go next?
I do. The reason why I'm here is two things maybe. And they're closely interconnected. So whether it's one or two things, I'm not really sure. I signed up for safe training in the fall, and I feel that I need to, and it's okay, and I will go. But it's only because my customers, the market sort of tells me that that's the right thing to do. But I need something that's more me. So when Olaf started talking about the Temenos and you guys hanging out, doing a meeting for what do you call it, a retreat, something like that, and this winter or whatever, some months ago, I was very interested, but I ended up not going, and also Olaf told me it didn't happen. So my main interest is, I think, to hear more about the retreat, and maybe push it a little towards not so long, because that'll increase not so many days, because that'll increase the chance of me going. I think last time we talked about 5 days or so, and that would be a stretch for me. Yeah. So I'm mainly interested in hearing about the plans for the retreat. Is that what you call it? Retreat?
Retreat or academia.
Academy. Okay, good. And that's one of the subjects for today, anyway. Okay, great. Good. That's me.
Thank you.
And great to see you all, by the way.
Okay, I'm next. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. I had an operation this morning, so I cannot speak so many today. But I'm here to already train my English skills, and want to see the Temenos, the way of Temenos, and want to help to verbreiten,
to spread.
Spread the Temenos in Germany, and the academy is a good idea, and I want to support the idea.
Cool.
Thanks. So Olaf and Alexei.
Yes. I hope that my network issues are getting better.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my main interest at the moment is keep this focused connection going. I'm overwhelmed by the interest and the relationships that reconnect or connect anew, and the possibilities we're creating. And I suggested, or I mentioned that I'm currently interested in researching or reading a lot about neurobiology, interpersonal neurobiology, and how that changed my understanding of Temenos. And Siraj wanted to have more conversation about that, so that was our plan for today. So I'm still happy to do that. Otherwise, I'm open to everything, and I'm happy you're here.
Yeah. Cool.
And I'm in.
Yeah.
I missed something, so I don't know if everybody has spoken already. So
I think Alex.
Alex has not spoken yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm from Berlin now. Today, I have very bad connection too, but let me try. I found very interesting things today. Now I think how to apply this very interesting different hard.
Post it?
No, I thought about it. That's it. It should be posted, but it's not. But I think I figure out. Okay, I would like to continue my Temenos journey because I would like to know more step by step, and therefore I am here.
Mm-hmm.
I think it will be very interesting for me, and it's very important. Thank you.
Didn't scare you last time, Alexei. Good. So Olaf, I think we can start. I think with your input.
Yeah. So I try to summarize the things that astonished me in a quick way and give you a few directions if you want to know more. So I was introduced to this Daniel Siegel. I put his name in the comments if I find it. Daniel Siegel. And a book called Mindsight by Oana, who some of you might know from Paris. I'm in Paris currently, and I meet her from time to time. So she recommended this book. Okay, I need to close the door. Paris is getting noisy. And I started reading this book, and every 10 pages I got one insight, like, wow, how can he know how Temenos works? And I've listened to some audiobooks, watched some videos of his. So if you look for his name on YouTube, you will find lots of interesting videos. A quite new book about how the teenage brain develops is called Brainstorm. And biology. Connected my.
Here, I think Olaf has problems again with the connection. Yeah, let's see if that doesn't get better. So now, no.
To improve.
No, Olaf, we see you again.
You see me again? Can you hear me again as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, cool. Great. I could try turning off my audio, my video.
Yeah.
Maybe that improves the audio connection.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's better. And we did understand it until the brainstorm sentence.
Okay, so Brainstorm is a quite new book. It was published last year. It was published a few weeks ago in German. and it's written for teenagers, so it's written in a very accessible language. The descriptions are very short, and it has very specific, simple exercises that some of which are very very similar to some of the things we do in Temenos. And he explains, for instance, how making sense of your own biography is supporting integration. And integration, in his thinking, is the core of well-being. And before I start what he means with integration, I will introduce a main triangle of, I think he calls it triangle of well-being. And it's a simple triangle with three things on the corners. One is the brain, one is the mind, and the other thing is surprising, it's relationships. So to him, this the whole idea of human growth, of human integration, of we would probably say something like unfolding our potential or growing our consciousness, is to more and more integrate how we understand ourselves, how we understand other people. The surprising scientific fact I learned from these books is that the brain circuits that we use to understand ourselves, to get insight into our inner world, are actually the very same that we use for compassion, for empathy. Ola will know this because Jenny has read these books as well. That the way we have relationships, especially when we are very young, is determining how we think about ourselves, how well we accept different parts of ourselves, and how understanding and being able to tell a coherent biography is an indicator for, in the end, mental health. So what we do in Temenos when we look into the influence maps we start with, we try to make sense of our own past with a specific idea of understanding crucial events in our biography, which could have been traumatic, which could have been very influential, as the name says. By creating a coherent narrative from these events, sharing this and understanding the coherent narrative of others and increasing the coherence by asking interesting questions, etc. For those of you who have experienced this process, you know how that works. We are building this background for more empathy, more compassion, more well-being, and that's one of the crucial aspects. Action into the things that surprised me. That's probably good enough because I would like more of a dialogue to happen instead of just telling you some things.
The barking of the dog makes face intention then through the Hangout.
Yes. Some movement. So, did this make any sense to you? For those of you this before, and those of you who have not experienced Temenos before, or not a lot of Temenos at least, I think all of you have done influence maps at least, as far as I know.
Have you done influence maps?
Alexei has done influence maps at leadership training last year.
Okay.
Short.
Yeah, I done.
Like one. Yes. The connection with visual information with this narrative is also a very interesting fact. from a brain science point of view, but that's an entirely different story. So how this and the usage of drawing, seeing the partially conscious or unconscious parts of our memory, and how that helps us integrating the subject. But the idea is not overwhelming you, but having a conversation. So Siraj, since you asked for some introduction into these things, does that give you an idea of what I've been thinking about and why I'm excited?
Yeah, it's really fantastic. I was just, making some notes based on everything you spoke about. I think the real astonishing thing for me was the third part of well-being, which was relationships. You started
Yes.
out with brain and mind, and I thought maybe you'll say body or something like that, but relationship was absolutely mind-blowing. And then you spoke about influence maps, and the fact that we see patterns of the mind in the influence maps, and that's really fantastic.
Yes.
And for me, one of the areas where I was reading this book a little bit, Mindsight, was to first of all, I was reading two books, two great books on neuroscience. This is definitely one of them, and then the other one I'll talk about in a minute. This book talks about the palm of the hand being the influence map of your brain.
Yes.
And that is just, absolutely fantastic and mind-blowing. And all the people who read palms, all over the history, and the most famous one I think is Kiro, if I'm not mistaken. They keep talking about how the hand and the shape of the palm and the lines, everything changes according to the state of our brain over a period of time.
Yes.
So that was the second thing that really blew my mind from this book. The thing that I think I'm going to continue to explore, Olaf, is most of the perception of either the practice of Temenos or the website or the content you've written or the videos that all of us have produced is very touchy-feely, and there is this whole aspect of the neuroscience of Temenos that's just being ignored. And that's why when you first said it on the first Hangout, I immediately thought that's a place we really need to go to.
Yes, that was actually my motivation to dive in so deep. Christina and I were requested by a leader of an organization in Germany who is himself and his brother. They are both bosses of the organization. They are very, very, very left brain dominated people. So very analytic, very rational, very like they are emotional, but they don't think emotions are very important. Actually, that's not a nice way to put it. They like to understand in an analytical and rational way why things are working and why things are important. And based on what I'd read in these science books, I created a new description of how Temenos works as a catalyst for continuous integration on a human level. So the same thing that Jenkins server does for your programming practices and your programming tools. It forces you to have conversations around how you do stuff. So it forces you to raise your awareness, to raise your consciousness about how do we program, which tools do we use, which standards do we adhere to, which language are we talking, right? And Temenos does this on the human interaction level. And then with this baseline that we have reached awareness of and then created alignment about, we can then improve on, which is the clean state we are moving forward from. So this is an explanation of Temenos. There's a little more to it. I need to translate it into English because I've written it in German, but it's something I could send to you.
Thank you. I would love
you
that.
were asking triangle. Where's the body? And the body is actually in the brain. So these three parts do have a very specific connection. and it's about energy and information flow. When we talk, for instance, there are sound waves, right? This is energy. And your brain interprets the sound waves that come from my mouth as information. So the brain is the physical the physical medium that is used to transport energy and information in the body. Relationships are where energy and information flows between us, and the mind is the emergent process that regulates the energy and information flow. This is how these three things belong together and work as a triangle. So the the idea of this well-being is that we integrate energy and information flow. So there's energy and information coming into the body from your senses and emotions. The brain is distributed throughout the body, so there's a brain in the guts, there's a brain in the heart, and there's a brain in the head, and it's connected to all the nervous system in the rest of the body, etc., etc. So the brain in this triangle is the body part, the physical energy and information transmitter. Is that a good word? And then you have the regulation of the energy and information flow, which is coming from the mind. And the relationships are the transporting energy and information between minds, so to say.
So the brain is seen as sort of something almost mechanical, you know, an instrument to...
An instrument. Instrument is a good word.
Yeah. Okay. I just had a thought from the other day to build on some of what you said, Siraj. I was on a selling trip, which I rarely do, but I have this Lead for Greatness that we're doing with David Marquet and then Jenny, and it's a hard sell. So I'm working very hard because I know it's right, and I'm fighting, and I will, because we're onto something that we want to get out in the world. And I'm sitting in this meeting, and insurance company, 3 people, and when I start talking about the neuroscience, so you said this, you know, Temenos is touchy-feely, and so is the version of leadership that we, that we advocate. And then when Nina, the woman in this meeting, heard about the hard science and the neuroscience, the sort of the hard facts, she was like, she completely changed, and she was like, where can I sign up? I want to do this. I'm all over this. And she found out a couple days later that her company wasn't sort of there or ready to pay for her. So she said, what do I need to pay if I pay it out of my own pocket? She came, and I think she paid half price or something. I mean, so apparently the science and the hard facts that we find in neuroscience is it's not only this, you know, what happened here was that she found some money, but also it's getting to people, and I think it's getting to everybody. Of course, maybe mainly the left-brain people, but it's just amazing to see how suddenly it's a sort of a door opener. We open their minds to this stuff, and I think leadership and motivation and Temenos and all this that otherwise would be seen as only touchy-feely things. So it's just a thought.
Thanks. You know, and you know, my response to that, Ole, is that I fear that, you know, maybe the style of Temenos that is out there is excluding people who enjoy it. You know, that's the reason to bring in as many dimensions, whether it's neuroscience or biology or body work or any other angle. I would absolutely love to see that.
Yes.
Yeah, we worked in Berlin. We worked with some physiotherapists together during a Temenos. That was also a great experience. So those people they did some massage in between and really worked on the body in between, and that really also changed the understanding for everybody immediately. So, and I'm also convinced that, yeah, there are so many methods where you can understand things only through the body, not using any language at all.
Yeah.
So that is one of the key things, and I think this type of learning or this type of also releasing things only through body, without using the mind, I think that's a quicker way. And I think sometimes you can save some like 5-10 years with your psychologist if you just use the body. And yeah, so I'm really totally in favor of that. Olaf, are you still here? Yeah.
Yes, I'm there. So what else do you want to know, or is there any detail within what I said which you would like to explore, or?
From my point of view, I would love to get your take on another book that I started reading. I think that you have this voracious ability to read and digest books and produce material for all of us. So
thank you.
I'm putting the name of the book on the chat because I think it'll be easier that way. But this guy is Jack Panksepp, Affective Neuroscience. He talks a lot about, I would say the root of emotion and what is called as the lizard brain. And so I'm keen to see your take on it, and of course, I'd love to hear from everyone else. And I'm wondering if we can ask ourselves and challenge ourselves to do this reading and the Mindsight book and other things that we have, and then produce an article for us to talk about either the neuroscience of Temenos or the neurobiology of Temenos. One of those two words seems appealing, but I'd love to put something out there.
Yes. That's a great idea. Maybe when we meet at this coach camp in August, we can sit down one night and write that.
I would love that. Yes.
Regarding the lizard brain, this is something I really like about this hand model that you talked about. So the basic idea. I try to turn on my video because I want to show you something.
Yeah.
Can you see me? Does that work?
Yeah.
So when you take your hand like this is a handy model of the brain. You put your thumb across like this and close the fingers. Then put like this. This is your brain.
Yeah.
And the way it works is this is the brain stem. This is the spine. The brain stem is the lizard brain. That's the brain that's more than 200 million years old. That's what does our basic emotions. It regulates heart, breath, fight, flight, freeze response, and faint. I think these are the four. Limbic system. Then there's this mammalian thing. I think that maybe that's the limbic system. I'm not a physician, so I do tend to get these things.
I think Olaf, what you described was the older part, which is more in the back of ours, and the limbic system is not reactive, not the reactive part of the brain.
Yeah,
so
I think the limbic system is the next thing. So the amygdala is part of this, the hippo, whatever, the thing that stores geography data and that grows to amazing sizes as London taxi drivers. That's part of this old mammalian brain, and this is also what is responsible for attachment. Reptilians don't have attachment. Only mammals do have attachment. And the thing that covers the fingers are the cortex. So this is the new part of the brain. And the two parts of the two fingers here, that's the prefrontal cortex. And that is the area that is connected to everything else. It's connected to the stem. It's connected to the limbic system. So this is the part that regulates everything. This is the part that gives us insight, the part that does empathy, compassion, mirror neurons, lots of other things that I can't all remember. And the interesting thing is that we can learn through mindfulness, basically, and through biography work, all the things we do in Temenos. We can train this prefrontal cortex to integrate the other areas. So it's vertical integration. This is what she talks. I turn off the video because I feel the connection is going to get worse again. The vertical integration is integrating the body, integrating our emotions. Horizontal integration is integration of the left and the right side of the brain. The left with its preference for linearity and black and white, and the right with the storage of biography information, of messy details. Then integration of time, this biography, sense making that we do, especially in influence maps, and lots of other things. So there, I think he lists 8 different kinds of integration that you can do. And integration, he has a lovely definition for this, is honoring differences and increasing or strengthening linkages. So this is also something what Temenos does to the people, for instance, in a team. We're honoring the differences and increasing the linkages. So it's about embracing diversity and getting into this more than the sum of its parts thing, right? That's why Temenos is so strong in team building, so helpful for team building, because it's a great way to honor the differences and create linkages through the resonance that happens.
Yeah. So what I would propose, Olaf, is if nobody else has, just maybe we could close the topic somehow, and then go on to our second topic.
Sure.
So what I'd like to say is, Olaf, maybe if you can start off a Google Doc, and we all can contribute, and then we have some kind of a iteration that just puts this document out there, and then the iteration improves it and improves it.
Yeah. I'm on Agile Coach Camp on the weekend, so I can also put some time in there.
Fantastic. I didn't know you were coming to DC, Christine.
Oh, there's Agile Coach Camp Germany next weekend.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Is there another parallel coach camp?
Yeah, the one in Washington, D.C. Is in August 1st.
August 1st, then. Okay.
They're all over, those coach camps, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah. Is there a way to create a Google Doc directly from a Hangout? Since we are a group of Google people, in a Google tool, it seems so natural.
Yeah.
I don't know. But if not, it's not that important.
No, it's not. Sure, it's not important.
It's only technical thing.
It would be.
I don't know what that is.
I'll find out. So what's the next topic?
The next topic would be academy.
Okay.
So it's nice that that combination of having some input on knowledge, and then now maybe do some linkage And what our interest would be, we tried to set up an academy for some time now. I think we started trying it last year in fall, I think, and there were always people interested. The problem was that when we wanted to do it, then there was also always something like happening, and so we couldn't get really people together. And I think we would have more or less like 6 or 8 people wanting to join, and so we got some feedback that maybe this long version of 5 days they won't make it, but they want to start somehow, and we don't want to push the date always later, and because I think we always at the same time lose people, and because then they think, okay, this won't happen, or so they lose interest and get interested in some other things. So what we would like to ask you is how you would like to have an academy. What would be your picture to do an academy? If you can maybe link also the Skype sessions and personal sessions, and have a series of, maybe do a process like having all the sessions in the web and then having some personal sessions, and so I would like to hear some feedback.
I guess I picture something like a coach camp, but in the format and length, but with fewer people. So I don't know, a couple days or something, and it's fine if one of those days is a weekend, but I don't want to spend the whole weekend on that. I have a lawn that needs to be mowed, and a wife who needs to be kissed, and I'm so I don't know, a Friday, whatever, get together on a meet Thursday afternoon, hang out together Friday and Saturday, and then go home Saturday, for example. And I guess that the venue and the easiness of getting there would be of some significance. So even though we would maybe prefer to go somewhere in the countryside, near an airport would be my preference. How many people are in this group? I know right now we are 6 people, but what is a list of somewhere of what's the sort of the total list, or does that not exist?
I think it depends if we are speaking about academy or if you're speaking about the whole people who did Temenos or who are interested. So I think if it's only academy, that means people who are really interested to spread the word and who would really like to do workshops and use it in their consultancy and everything. So I think this is maybe a bunch of people between 10 and 15 maybe in total, max. And then if you speak about all the other people, if we, let's say, open up the first meeting also for other people who are not interested in that academy but would like to have that retreat for 3 days, and then there will be much more people.
Okay. And this is Northern Europe people or what?
Yeah, this is. Most of them are in Germany. I think there are some from the outside. So because Olaf worked in Europe and did some of the conference, maybe Olaf, you can say it more clearly. I think it's about maybe another 2 to 5 people from Europe who would like to join maybe an academy.
Okay.
Olaf, are you still there? No, I don't think he's still there.
I can see that he's muted.
Yeah, he's muted. So maybe we can just go on and collect some ideas how you would like to have your academy. If you,
I have not really heard what you said in the past few minutes.
I can sum it up for you, Olaf.
Okay, cool.
So Ole spoke about his idea for Academy, and he said for him it would be interesting to have a couple of days, like a coach camp,
yes.
Maybe joining Thursday evening until Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And for him it would be the easiness of getting there is important.
Yes.
So that was the part we spoke.
So we had the idea in one of the previous sessions to combine presence days with hangouts like this one. So what we imagined when we planned the 5 days was doing a Temenos with long debriefs in between, where we reflect on what happened, where we reflect the facilitation and the inquiry and what we do in a Temenos and what happens and what we've learned. And I could imagine that the actual Temenos work greatly benefits from being in one room, and that the reflection on how we work could also work well remotely in a kind of session like this one. So maybe we could, instead of having these long multiple day things, we could have like 2 days to meet and then do these sessions in between. And that way, maybe it could also be something that is like an ongoing thing. So we deepen the connection between us in the Temenos practice, and we deepen our understanding of the practice in regular sessions in between.
Yeah, I was just thinking about prolonging Temenos, not doing these 3-day Temenos, but doing maybe influence maps and things around that, and getting connection to each other and all that thing. Yes. And maybe then continuing in the web and so prolonging one Temenos for a long period of time. So that was one of my ideas which came.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that we learn really in a longer process. Yeah. It will be also interesting. There Siraj is posting something.
Yes, Siraj is showing us his...
What I wanted to do was to sort of set the context for not only the 3 of us, but for everyone else also. So if you can take like a pen or pencil and keep it on day 3, that is what Olaf is talking about, that the academy is based on the live experience of an actual Temenos lab. And so that's day 1, day 2, and day 3. And then post day 3, you'll see all the topics are more about analysis, academy, application of theory and model, and how to actually facilitate. So, I'm actually not considering a virtual academy, just so that you all know. I'm considering a 9-day academy again. But if I were to do that and to sort of open my mind to a virtual approach to the academy portion, and one could actually say that what we are doing right now is a academy, because we spoke about a topic like neurobiology of Temenos. And
exactly.
It's a continuation of the face-to-face conversation we had 2 years ago. So I can see a lot of value in the virtual conversations. I'm concerned about how we will create the Temenos experience that is necessary to appreciate the power of Temenos. That's the mystery for me, and I'm wondering how we can help to get there.
I think we need also this personal connection, and I think this is really the basis of everything. And but we can prolong the effect, I think, through meeting in the web.
Yeah.
So what I could imagine is that we just try an incremental approach.
Mm-hmm.
So if we meet for 2 days, to have an intense Temenos experience. Could be 3 days as well, like the standard length, like the start of your academy plan. And then we continue this with reflection, and could still be intense conversations, like Temenos quality conversations, or container level conversations, as we call them, in virtual meetings afterwards. Remember what happened last week, right? So we know how to create powerful resonance, especially when we have a group of not strangers, but people who have done a long Temenos together before. So I could imagine that we can create a lot of connection, intensity of connection, and a lot of understanding, depth of understanding that way. And then we can decide, okay, do we want to meet again to kind of have another iteration, or have more focused time on crystallizing our understanding together, or whatever, so that we have an emergent structure of the academy instead of a fully predefined structure. This is kind of where I'm thinking at the moment.
What comes into my mind is that what I would like to do is that sort of that we are creating a Temenos for people who would like to go on their personal way more deeper, and then having this 3-day Temenos at the beginning, and then have some sessions around some inputs and some special topics, and as well sessions for personal step-by-step growth, in putting all these knowledge into the real world, so that we have this continued process in really changing our world around us. And then at the end, that we really can see, okay, we made this way and we changed this and that around us, and we got really more into the direction we really want. And and that's the academy. So then, and that everybody can say, okay, I can show you from the outside, and this was what I achieved and where I'm now. So this would be really fantastic.
For me, I'm still on a learning curve to devote time for these virtual things, and I'm doing it, and I'm and I'm trying to grow up, so to speak. But what really triggers me is the face-to-face. So that definitely for me, that needs to be part of it.
Yes.
Which also, that's what we're talking about now. So that's great.
This is exactly what I would like to learn. Is a face-to-face meeting plus virtual connection. Where's the sweet spot? Will it be more face-to-face, or will we need less face-to-face? I wouldn't want to predict that. And in a group of people, we can adapt to this. Right? We won't have so many people in the first round, so I think I would be happy to experiment with this.
When are we thinking?
Yeah.
Right. When are we thinking? Time-wise, in the fall?
We had already some dates, so we were, I think, around end of September, beginning of October.
Do you have those at hand, Christina?
The dates?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can just look them up on our webpage. The first weekend of October was our idea.
Okay, that's when I'm doing the SAFE training in the US.
Oh, okay.
But did you have another option too? Or?
Yeah, we did. So let's see. Yeah, just opening the. So the other one was, I think, end of October, 26 to 30. Let's see. So in this week from 26 to 30 October.
Okay.
I still have to look up where I am at that time.
Yeah. That week works for me. Except I would, as we talked about, have a preference for fewer days.
I think maybe if we have now a 3-day idea, maybe you can set up also again and use some new appointments, because then it's easier to schedule them. So end of October still works for me, but I think we really need to fix an appointment for the for this year, because otherwise everything gets so dense and there won't be nothing. Because everybody needs to make decisions.
Mm.
Olaf, are you still there?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Christine, where are you planning to do this?
We plan to do this at the moment in Germany. And Ole I think he would come over, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So this could be the weekend of, let's say, I just write. I think that would be Ole. That would be a date where you could participate, or?
Yes.
Okay. Me too. So I also could be there.
So one idea could be, I don't know, getting together on the Thursday and then hang out there Friday and Saturday and leave Saturday. That would be my suggestion.
Yeah. So we need to. That would mean only 2 days. Yeah. So that's the problem. Is that the Temenos original length is 3 days.
Okay.
So that the real, if you would do a real thing, where you really can, it's like a real retreat that you really get into the depths for yourself, then I think we would need 3 days.
Christina, I beg to differ. This retreat does not have the goal of reaching a vision. So
I didn't speak about that. No.
So if we have 2 days to do influence maps, this is about the time we took at our 9-person 9-day academy. I don't remember exactly, but I think it took us about 2 days to do everybody's influence maps, and we could start with that and learn a lot from just doing influence maps in a very relaxed and slow and deep way, and then we could start the regular connection on Skype or Hangout, and then decide when we want to meet again. So it's simply not to clean slate, not to the vision in the first meeting.
Yeah, so this was my idea, which I had before as well. So I need to do one part and then do such a long-term Temenos. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we could do this. I think it was very intense when we worked in the academy with Siraj on influence maps, and I think this was a long thing, and it was really good. So I liked it, and I think this is the relationship and the connection we need, and that's the important thing to create at the beginning. So that would be fine for me. Yeah.
Yeah, works for me. My suggestion is, if we have the minimum group that we're looking for, let's just block the date. Otherwise,
Yes.
a moving target like this will never work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had this moving target for so long, and I think we need to fix now something and get a new idea of how to put this into life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a cool idea. So maybe we just wrap up because it's 32.
Yeah.
And fix maybe another date for us on another topic, if you would like.
Yeah. How is Tuesdays? I think we seem to be doing good on Tuesdays.
Yeah. So I've got a training next Monday, Tuesday. I'm near Munich. So I could try to make it until so 9 would be better for me, but 8:30 I would try to do that. I couldn't really say.
Let's just move it to 9, Christine. Half an hour, I don't think makes a big difference to most of us.
Yeah, if that would be possible, then I think I would be able to make that. Yeah.
What about the others? Olaf, Ole?
My connection was sketchy again. What was your last agreement?
Next Tuesday at 9.
Yes.
Yes. Works for me.
Good.
Okay, cool. So so maybe just one sentence or one word to wrap up our session from today.
I feel energized and happy.
Momentum.
A new beginning.
Yeah, I got inspired.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
Yeah, so Patrick and
Thank you.
Alex, yeah,
Take
so
care.
nice to have you that you have been with us. Alex, do you want to say something or?
Yeah, next time I would like to talk more.
Yes. Yes.
We will be next time will be after a full day training we've been doing together. So your voice will be used to talking.
And Christine, I hope to meet with you at Agile Coach Camp.
Ah, yes, you're here. You're there. That's fine. So we'll meet on the weekend.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, thanks for setting this up. It's really nice of you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
Appreciate it.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.